Huh.
Probably wait for Keith before we call.
What's that?
Probably should wait for Keith before we call the meeting to order, right?
Because I didn't hear anything other. Tina messaged that she wouldn't be here, but I didn't hear from anybody else other than Bob. Last meeting said he was out of town until the 18th.
Well, I emailed you that I would be here, right?
Okay. Bob or Keith.
I haven't seen one of those things since I was a kid. I can remember making those.
I have no idea.
They're like,
Yeah.
you basically like knot yarn through the,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Christina just finished a Christmas present for her sister of embroidery that she started in like 2020.
Oh, jeez.
21 maybe?
My grandson said, "When am I going to do that art?" They don't have to have it done by Christmas. I think it's birthday and
Oh, there you go.
What's that?
And then cancels from the voting. Yeah. And then Bob, let's keep that. Originally, yeah. And then take it out.
Your truck? I see a truck.
Hey.
My husband Larry got back to me. He's connecting with his partner. See if they can make time for us next week. He's in home business, so he's happy to let me know that he's played pickleball 24 days straight. Howdy.
Hey, Keith. Oh, you're good. All right. I will call the meeting at 6:02. Roll call.
Power button on the side of that. Turn that on, Keith.
If you hold it. I don't know if you might on in front of it. We've got Keith, myself, and Susan, with Bob and Tina being absent. We need to do the approval of December consent agenda and November board meeting minutes. Other than what Susan pointed out, that she had an errant yes in there, which you will take out. Everything else, I wasn't here, so.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Can we even vote to approve it if
I'm gonna vote
here?
I'm gonna vote yes. Everything was spelled correctly.
Yeah, you can vote
Yeah.
yes. I voted yes last time,
Okay.
and I wasn't there at the meeting before.
I second that motion.
Everybody, wait. All the ayes, right? Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? No. Okay.
No.
Approval of monthly financial reports for November.
No issues on my end. I'm just getting a little late.
Yeah.
I will move to the November 2025 financial report.
I'll second that. All the ayes?
Yep.
Aye. No nays. Public comment on agenda items.
Up to you. You're the
Yeah.
only,
Yep.
only people here.
Well, I've been this deep in the water in my living room this afternoon. We need dredging. It's that simple. I know that we're working towards it. Can this current event help motivate anybody to do anything somewhere up the ladder? Can we invite them to come by and take a peek? And can we invite the state representative, the state senator to come visit us at a meeting?
I would like to do that, and I have a bunch of photos from yesterday or the day before of Vivian's houses on the canals. I drove around. I have a video that blatantly shows how calm the water is over the sand on the east side of the bridge and how turbulent it's running through the river on the west side of the bridge. Like, at this point, I think it should be an emergency permit. I don't know if I've brought this up multiple times over multiple years. I started saying it when Josh was the director of the board. But I also have photos of my property where I'm sorry, it's your living room because it's my boathouse, but it's causing dry rot on my boathouse and shed and all of my neighbors. And it's just not okay for them to keep just shutting us down on dredging because of silly state political stuff that doesn't matter when it's real lives and real property being damaged. And I've even gone as far as to be like, I've said in a meeting in the past, like, should I consider suing the state for holding me up and not protecting my property? And Tina was like, well, good luck with that. You're not going to get anywhere with it, but I'm sick of it. And there are plenty of people that have water in their homes right now and it's damaging their property.
I will now start canceling bookings, which is going to cost us money, plus going through, yes, we have federal flood insurance. Let me tell you, that is a lot of money. And what you pay for and what you get. Anyway, it's going to be a heck of a challenge. If there's a silver lining here, can we use this as some sort of springboard to get somebody some attention? And I would love to have some people up the ladder who have some authority, and maybe they can go over the counter. I'd like to have them wait through my living room with me. If they want to come by, I will meet them and give them a tour. Come to put on their wetsuit and come on in, and I'll show them around, and we can see them.
I'd like to invite the neighbors also.
Yeah.
Because we are just down from Vivian, the houses down. And all of those houses on the canal flooded. I was just reading on Facebook there that somebody just bought a house. I didn't move in today.
That you talk to me?
No, but I was talking to one of the other neighbors.
They just moved in too.
Yeah, 5 days ago. He had to go buy a kayak so he could get to his front door. I think that, I don't know that it got into their house, but they couldn't park there or anything because it's like 3 feet high. But I think it'd be nice to invite the groups now. Get some action going. This is ridiculous.
And I've got historical background. I've been involved in this property since 1963, and we never had this problem until, 12 years ago. It was regularly dredged, and there wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
And the circumstances that prevent it from being dredged is creating, and I mean, federal government's got to be really careful about writing checks for all of this too. Flood insurance. There's got to be some motivation there. But I know I'm applying common sense to government stuff, and I apologize for that. But this is a situation where if we can at least use this for a springboard to get some more attention, and we're going to probably submit some stuff to they're soliciting from HW in Portland, and actually my son is friends with one of the we have a dry winter like we had last year, it's great, big deal, but.
Yeah.
This is gone on strong.
Then there's also, I have a bunch of documentation and photos from 21
I've got it too.
that I emailed the board when I was new to the board, and it's me footage from my wave runner in the canals, same thing going on. It's clearly a dredging issue, and it's all been documented for me personally. I've documented it since 2020.
And if they don't want to visit us, we go visit them.
So
I'll take some time. I live in Salem. If there's anybody in Salem that I can go visit, you let me know, and I'll go knock on doors. This is what I've done my entire life working with government agencies on land use. So this does not scare me.
We're still in the public comment period on the
We
ESL
are.
permit.
Because Mitch posted to it today.
Yeah, so definitely, I mean, you should have gotten that. Did you get the email from Boone about the public
I'll
comment?
have to go back and consider this day.
But
It
it was
was like last week or maybe 2 weeks ago.
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, so definitely, I mean, that's
The window
because
was
our permit,
close to closing it.
yeah. Let me see if I can
Because I talked about that at our last meeting.
find it. Because the permit application, they take public comment, and that's,
Can you resend that? Because I don't see anywhere that I received that.
That info is also on the website.
Okay, so one second.
let me,
I mean, we've been down this dredging road for what, 10 years? It's old. I like government officials at high levels need to be involved in this right now, tomorrow. Like, we need to reach out tomorrow and get officials involved, because it's going nowhere for 10 years and it's unacceptable.
The other thing, if we've like missed the boat because let's say the officials say, oh, we'll get there in a week, and by then obviously a lot of it's receded, there's good probability they said of another one coming in, Christmas week. So maybe even preemptively, hey, there's 3 inches of rain on the schedule next week. Can we schedule somebody to come take a look?
And if you can arrange something, I will drop everything. I would gladly get together and get that tour of our place and discuss. I've been here since 1963, and I can tell you who was built where, when, all that good stuff all over the island. Right? I'm glad to get involved. You just let me know what we need.
so it looks like the public comment period's open until December 18th. So I would definitely encourage anyone who has thoughts on whether or not this dredging project should go forward to avail themselves of that.
Yeah.
Boone, I think you should put something out to everyone locally too, and be like, now's our chance to actually move on this. And I saw Facebook, I think it was Lincoln City homepage post, and someone was like, what's the city doing about this? And clearly the answer is nothing. But we need action here, like now.
That's called Lincoln City homepage.
We were just looking at it a couple of minutes ago, and they had pictures on the back road on
Yeah.
the island there, and the guy literally kayaking down the street.
Yeah, I was up there on Tuesday, and that people were deflating their inflatable kayak. They had just come out while we're getting ready to go back in.
They can't park their cars there. The one person I talked to today, it's not actually in the house, but it's only up to the house. They can't park there.
Most of the houses are raised up just a little bit, but yeah, it's if you can't get to your house, then there's no, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm curious what's going on in that Vivian's building too,
Yeah.
because it's got water in it for sure.
Yesterday, last night at 7:35 was the peak at 12.5 feet.
It went up fast too.
Well, it doesn't even, the issue is the runoff. It doesn't even matter if it's pouring rain. When we get rain like that, it all comes off the hills. You can get another foot out of just the runoff after it stops raining.
I know in my case, I checked 6 a.m. on Tuesday morning in my parking lot. I checked at 11:30 in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
went
it came up
fast.
there.
It did.
All right. Should we move on to bookkeeping services, Ben?
Both Robert and I responded with our message from the board to Cameron. He had surgery on the 1st. I even sent him another one just saying, hey, I want to make sure you got our messages. We'd like to, we can start this in on the 1st. No response. We'll see what the December invoice looks like. And I also just said, hey, if there's other, just the message we had, if we're going to increase in the future, like let's do it based on what we can plan for it in our budget. I didn't put a lot of extra room in the budget for bookkeeping services. I didn't think it was going to go up. We'll table that for January. As we move into Blue Heron, Dennis reached out to me last week as he does have another interested party for the Blue Heron. They had some questions about taking over our loan, if that was an option. And I went back into the seller's packet, buyer's guide or whatever that we have, and kind of just verbatim of what it said, and that we couldn't do that unless the previous owner said yes. And then I followed up with him again and said, hey, where are you at with this? And he said that the person was looking into his financing options, trying to reach out to Noel Walker to see what his revenue stream was before, because he'd like to reactivate the marina, it sounds like. And he was talking with the planning department. That one could probably hold us up right there. It's just development on that property with city guidelines is a challenge. I know Susan and I met with a realtor out of the Portland area today, where they specialize in investments. Investments, is that the right word?
Yeah, investment properties, basically people who are buying, houses or condos that they want to rent out.
Right now.
They're kind of unique in that it's just two guys and they really rely on social media a lot. So they have like a whole YouTube channel and stuff, and I can't remember, I have my notes from it. He said in the last month they've had over like 7,000 views of their YouTube channel and over 10,000 subscribers or something. He talked a lot about unique ways to present the property because of the uniqueness of the property and the various different things you could do, and how it would really make sense to put together videos that would depict some of the different ways you could use the property and have those as part of the listing. And I mean, I liked what he had to say just because he's looking at it from a different perspective than here's 4 pictures and here's a paragraph about what it is. Whereas he was like, we could really talk a lot more about Devil's Lake and what makes it, unique and why someone would want to develop here in the first place. So anyway.
He offered at the end too that they would still be willing to contribute to a video for us, even if they weren't selected.
Yeah.
But they don't do a lot of commercial work. We have a meeting on tomorrow and Monday with additional local realtors, and probably next week a Zoom with a commercial-based firm. This one's kind of based out of Salem. I know one of the guys lives in Nescoin, and Palm Springs right now. Dennis did send us paperwork to renew for another 6 months, so that's also an option versus, especially if he's got having conversations with somebody that could take a few weeks. Maybe the potential of saying, hey, we could do 3 months.
When's the contract up?
End of the year,
Yeah.
the 31st.
End of this month.
I don't know. I'd be hesitant to renew just for the one maybe buyer, you know. But I mean, that is best case scenario. You've got somebody that wants to actually use it as a marina.
As long as they put a bar in there.
Right now, it's very
Yeah.
Safely.
Yeah.
I'll send an update when we meet with these realtors. And I know Susan and Bob are kind of the key people working on this with me. We'll see what other people have to say.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I know that the board, like, gave Bob and I some kind of authority, but I don't remember what. Do you remember? And will we have to bring, if we change agent, back to the whole board, or maybe look at that? I don't remember.
Look at our minutes from last time. Oh. You guys started this a year ago, so we have to go back to November.
Yeah. I don't remember at all.
All right. Anything else? Any questions on that? Okay, moving into a little more dredging. Our window after the 401 permit closed, so I officially submitted the joint permit application. So that's now in the queue. I have to wait to see for an evaluation, and they'll send me an invoice to see how much it costs. And then I've got another application due the Department of State Lands, which is a short-term access agreement. That's what we're saying that we can access it. And then our conditional use permit that we submitted to the city was denied due to it being incomplete. So they sent me a list of items and LEI. A sheet of things that need to be included that were not included or overlooked from the proposal from LEI. Some of that was the official report from the hydrology that wasn't included because I haven't received it yet. I'm asked twice. They have received it. They had a conversation with Northwest Hydrology, but they didn't submit the actual plans that were part of that. So try to get on LEI because I haven't seen a response from the 2 emails I've sent since I received this information just after or right before Thanksgiving. Ann Williams, the lease agreement, she's okay to sign it, but her husband was in the hospital for a week or more up in Portland, so she's not back yet. Talk a little bit about the atmospheric storm where we shot up 1.5 feet.
2.5 feet.
2.5, thank you. And then looking at my meter, again, the peak was at 7:35 last night at 12.5 feet, and it's slowly starting to lose inches. And then when I was at Blue Heron getting mail, had been up to pretty much the building. king tides, they weren't as severe last weekend, so that was a good thing. But we have another round of them right after the new year, January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So working on my restoration grants in progress. Let's do the end of January. And I have on here because Dana and I did meet with Gomberg and Anderson in like 2024. And I just didn't have plans or anything ready.
They wanted,
They wanted details. So
Yeah.
we're in more of a details spot now, and with the support of the local weather, the recent weather, they might be a little more on board to see what type of support they can give us. I reached out to SDAO about helping with our RFP. So we'll start working with one of their support services people to draft I'll call it an RFP. It's
Request for proposal.
so I have something or other. Invitation to bid. There we go.
Basically, that's
Invitation to bid. And then here next week, I'm meeting with the Parks and Rec director to talk about partnerships on grants that will impact Holmes Road, Regatta, and Sand Point, and replacing signage and installing life jacket stations, new kiosks. They're trying to get a ADA accessible kayak launch at Regatta Park. So they've actually come to me a few times just because they have to go through DSL applications and are like, wow, this is pretty intense. And then I also heard last week that they're also looking maybe replacing the gazebo structure that is there in the parking lot that has the panels
Oh, okay.
about Devil's Lake in the middle.
Gotcha.
I'm also on I'm on the Friends of Lincoln City Parks and Rec board. So we talked about, we're submitting kind of some ideas about how that could be changed to be a little more inviting. And still have all of our maybe new art about Devil's Lake on there.
would that be around the same time that they redo that whole?
No,
No.
this is probably a year or more out, most likely.
Okay.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, aren't they planning on redoing Regatta?
The park and
Yeah.
everything. Sandcastle Park.
Yeah.
Possibly. I'll know more when I meet with them next week. And then we had talked about public meetings about the dredging project. I reached out to Beach Club to see if they had dates 13th or 15th available in January. And I would love some support on that from at least two board members if they were available. There would be an evening.
I will be gone from the 7th until the night of the 14th on this January meeting. So if you can do it on the 15th, I'm happy to be there.
We'll see what Caroline says too. We can push that back too. I don't think-
15th would work better for me as well,
Okay.
but I can do that.
And I put together kind of a slideshow and go through a slideshow about proposed plans, the reasons why, show some pictures of flooding, and then make it available for public comment, open comment. You might know this, Susan. When we submit a joint permit application to the Army Corps of Engineers, does that also go through a public comment phase?
Probably. Yeah. I don't actually know, but I would say yes. Yeah.
Next meeting is this January 8th, 6 p.m.
I will not be here.
No key,
And I won't be here.
no Susan.
So if you get desperate enough, I could arguably call in.
I should be
But I
good.
don't want. But I could if you want desperate.
Mark, you guys have anything else you want to add?
Can you forward me
Yeah.
contact information for the state rep and the state senator for this district?
Yeah.
I'll reach out to him. Anybody else that I should reach out to, let me know. Like I say, if you're gonna get somebody here and you want me to come chat with them, I will rearrange my schedule whenever possible. I need 90 minutes. I like more than 90 minutes.
Yeah.
We will, we're gonna get, a whole street, hopefully, that we can put.
Yeah.
We're gonna set, well, a lot of people who spend a lot of time at that property. That's by the way,
And if you didn't find the public, I'll hop in the office after the meeting and I'll send you the info for it. But yeah, you can submit photos and.
I actually sent an email with that video if you want me in. It's like watching around.
Oh, sorry.
Boone, I would also like contact information for any big names,
Yes, anybody.
government names,
They'll send you Dick and David's info and Carrie Landrum.
anyone. I'll email 3 people, I'll email 100 people. I don't care how many people I have to email. I would also like to know what other communities are dealing with flooding like this and not doing anything about it for years on end. Like, this seems to me like it's an emergency that happens over and over again, and it should be dealt with at this point. So I don't really understand how it's not more important to more people, because there's a decent amount of people that are affected by this in our community. I own Wildwood Design Center, and we have people come every time it floods and ask us to, like, can you please help? I don't know what to do. I don't know how to go through insurance. I need help replacing my floor. And it's a health issue too. Those people's homes are going to mold. If it's not dealt with properly, it's a major issue. And I don't really understand how we're stuck in this weird limbo, but I think it makes the most sense to me to like go back down the route of having some kind of emergency permit. The city has an emergency permit to dig out the west side from the bridge to the ocean. Why don't we have that? And why is it so hard to be able to do something like that? Like, it's affecting people's lives. I mean, I would like these answers yesterday. I don't want to wait to hear it from someone. I want to know. I want to call people. I want to email people. I want to sit on the phone or sit in someone's office until I have an answer. At this point,
I'll sit right next to you. And I get to make a phone call tomorrow and tell someone that they can actually get the fight. They're going to spend Christmas at our place, like they do year after year after year. So this is getting real personal.
On that note, 6:33, adjourned.
I have to turn my microphone off.
I did.
It was picking you up.
It was.
I've never worn a mic, so I think it felt like a mic.
I'm a little fired up tonight.